Sometimes I feel like a star, but only strictly where I'm famous. I'm in this for the longest haul, like we'll see where it takes us. I'm throwing back these double shots like whiskey here is weightless. Cause this career I chose was even riskier than Vegas.
Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome to another Thursday night live with Colby Rebel. But I got to tell you, tonight is super special. This one's going to go down in the history books. I am so giddy. It's like it's Christmas for me. I'm so excited for our guest tonight. And I mean, he really doesn't even need an introduction. He is the god of mediumship. He is a legend, a pioneer. I mean, over, oh my goodness, probably over 30 years in the business of psychic mediumship and sharing the gifts, helping students develop, and just producing shows, being on shows. His commitment to spirit is like nothing I've ever seen. I mean, truly someone of service. And, you know, I'm so happy I got to kind of grow up and see such magical magnificence on TV, actually. But just seeing him share his gift and getting to know him myself and how much he helps students and how he's even built his own school to help students. And so I think you will all know who I am talking about, but let me formally introduce the man himself, James Van Praagh. Hi, James.
Hi, Colby. Thank you very much. Thank you. Fun introduction. Wow.
I am so excited to have you, and thank you so much. I know you are so busy and jam-packed, and so I'm super excited to have you. And I will tell the listeners, you know, if you want to call in, you have to ask questions about spiritual development or things that signs and symbols. We're not going to do personal readings because this is really about student development and helping students understand the mediumship and the gifts. So that number is 323-992-3115. 323-992-3115. And if you'll just kind of keep the questions to the development, that will really help us kind of power through them as well. So, James, you know, I am excited to have you. It's such an honor, I know, for you to carve out that time for me. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, so I want to, you know, you've been doing this for a long time, right? And
close to 40 years.
Oh, and I'll tell you what, though, you were really young when you kind of discovered you even had a gift, yes?
Yeah, my late 20s, really, but 27, 28, I think it was. And
there really wasn't anyone around yet for you to kind of have a role model. I mean, you are the role model.
Yeah, there was no one around. I was the first medium out. George Anderson from Long Island was out. He did it before, but he wasn't really on television. He wasn't known in television circles. So I was really the first medium ever to be on television. And then after me, Sylvia Brown, John Edwards. But I was very first one, Larry King Live.
Wow. And was it, do you remember being nervous? I mean, do you remember saying, what am I doing?
Well, you know, the whole thing was crazy and so led by spirit, no doubt about it. And a quick story, my first book, Talking to Heaven, came out. Well, before that, I was on a TV show called Beyond NBC. It was a daytime talk show of all things paranormal. And I was on there and they, you know, people loved it. And a producer from Larry King, Wendy Walker, called up and to me and she said, "Do you want to be on the show, Larry King Live?" I said, "I'd love to." She goes, "Do you have a gimmick?" And I said, "I talk to dead people. Is that not enough?" Celebrities or you do that? No, I talk to dead people. That's all I have. She said, "Okay, maybe next time." So my book came out 2 years later, and I called her up. I had her phone number, and I called her up, and I explained who I was, and she said, "Oh, you know, Larry's not really interested in that right now." And her grandfather came through. This is how spirit works. Her grandfather came through and talked about the broken glasses, about the medications her mother's take, all these details. And she said, "Okay, I got to call my mother. I'll call you back." She goes back for 10 minutes later, and she was freaking out. Everything made sense. And she said, "What are you doing tonight? Do you want to be on the show?" I said, "Sure." So I went on that night. And what are the odds of that? You know, that American Life hasn't opened that night. And my book, the initial print of the Talking to Heaven book, went from 6,000 to 600,000 in a month. And they had calls. It was a Friday night, and they had calls to CNN bureaus around the world till Sunday afternoon. So it's pretty phenomenal that happened. And that's how spirit works,
Yeah, spirit does work that way. Do you find that you are always using spirit as your compass, as your guide?
I guess, and it changes. It changes probably as we get older and live life and have experiences. I really have now moved into what I call observation.
Okay.
Stepping back and observing the world, observing people, observing situations, and not getting in it, but observing it. So that's really helped me quite a bit.
Okay. And now you've started this incredible school, and I tell you what, I guess it was there all along. I mean, really, you invent and create the next stage, the next platform for future mediums. And so you created this school of mystical arts, right?
Yeah.
And
my legacy.
It is incredible. I mean, there's a lot of valuable information and courses, and we'll go through some of those. We're going to talk about it, but it's incredible, like the amount of effort. I mean, you can see the amount of effort. What was the original idea? Like, hey, how did you feel inspired to kind of create this school?
Well, all through my career of this work, it's always been, I'm just sharing because I've been given this information. It's not mine to keep. It's to share and enlighten people. That's what this work is all about. So I want to really create a space where people from all over the world could go to and learn. I couldn't possibly go to every single nation in the country. So I wanted a place there's a community and people can have like-minded experiences with other people, and a place where they can go and feel safe and they can learn. And I dedicated myself to this school. And it took a while for it to develop because I wanted to make sure it was the right people that were behind it, like the producer and the cameraman and so forth, and they had the right energy behind it.
Right.
And I really surrendered. Let's do it when they were going to do it, and it worked out perfectly. And one course alone, the mediumship course, is over 60 videos. It has I talk to Zoom with people. I have a lot of homework assignments. It's pretty extensive, and it's great though. It's a great. I have to do the best I can because it's all about integrity, responsibility.
Yeah, there is a lot of integrity. What happens when you have a student? Like, if you have a student and you just see something so special in them, do you find a purpose to encourage or to take them?
Yes, I do. I have done that before, and I still do that. And I will. Yes, I will meet with them. I'll talk to them. I will encourage them. I will help them, assist them. Part of being a medium or going into that art of mediumship is also, as you know, it's learning from your own soul. It's your own soul evolve. So part of the journey of mediumship is really for that person to let their soul evolve and have a relationship with their soul.
Yes.
So they have to be willing to do that as well, you see. So something to meet there, that person, they have everything together. And it's like, wow, you're going to be a great medium. So yes, several of those people, and they're still around. Yeah.
How was it? Can you think back to, you started this in your later 20s, you said, how was it kind of coming out of the spiritual closet? That's what I always call it, the spiritual closet.
Well, I grew up Catholic, and I was going to be a priest. I went to a seminary for a year. That was what happened. And it was very interesting. I knew from a very young age when I would see spirit and know things that I don't know. I just knew it was very natural. It wasn't something I had to go attain. It kind of was within me. Something Colby, I've always been somebody, maybe that's just the way I am, that I knew what truth was. I knew when I was doing a reading that the healing that would happen was so powerful and that would change people's lives. And to me, it was just very natural, and I had to do it. There's no way of not doing it. And, from a very young age, this is really interesting. I came in this way, I think. I came in pretty secure. I came in that I'm the youngest of 4 children, and I've always been a good sense of myself. And not ego, but a sense of who I am, right? And to this day, I love the phrase, what do the people think of you is none of your business.
Yes.
Right? You can get caught up in that stuff, and it's just stuff. But I kind of knew who I was, my own value. And listen, my adopted mother, I'll call her Connie Leaf, who I dedicated my first book to, she really looked at me and she said, "You're something special with you." She recognized it, whatever that was, when I was a little boy, and she took me under her wing, and that helped me a lot, of course. But
Yeah.
I don't really care what people think about me. I know the work, you got to do the work, and that's what I do. And I think you have to, I teach that as well. I encourage people just to be themselves, as Oscar Wilde said, everybody else is taken.
I love it though, because the part about mediumship that makes it so special is the connection with spirit, but the personality of the medium, right? It is
very important because I mean, the personality is to be something where, well, let's just put it this way, like you, outgoing, fun, sense of humor, interest in a lot of things, a lot of interest. That really makes a great medium because you can have many different spirits then who have different walks of life that you can bring through because your personality lends itself to being open and discovering things and having fun. You expand that space, and it's great for a spirit then. They don't have to be so limited because, as you know, when you do the work, you don't want a limited recipient, you don't want a limited spirit, and sometimes you have that. So the more expansive you can be personality-wise, it's great. I also, when I teach, a lot of people have shy students.
yes.
And I force them to look at themselves and start laughing. Let's telling jokes and have a good time. Let's dance. And they really like that because they have to go from their head to their heart. Obviously, so much of it in our head. Just go from the head to the heart. Once they get into that heart space, they're gold, So it's just reminding them of who they are, I guess.
Yeah, and then just helping kind of hone those gifts, access them.
Believing in themselves, and what they have. Everybody has different gifts or different availabilities to them.
Yeah.
And so, I'm very honest with people, and not everybody's a medium.
Right.
People can be healers, people can be therapists, people can be chefs, people can be accountants. It's all service. It's all using that creative energy in what way you're meant for.
Yeah. So now you I don't even know how you keep up your energy because you
Four
do.
planets in Leo. I think that's what I was thinking about that earlier. 4 planets in Leo, and it's called the Scorpio house, which is intense energy. I think that says I was folding my laundry before. I'm like, God, what do I call this energy? I'm going to be 60 years old. I'm like, wow, I still feel like a kid. And I realized I have 4 planets in Leo. Go. And it's like the Scorpio house, which is very intense. So maybe that's it. It's my makeup.
You do a lot. I mean, and you do so much traveling. You do live shows all the time. You do radio shows, interviews, appearances, and you write a ton of books. You have written so many books, but again, that path and that purpose of educating and sharing that gift and helping others explore and develop. Do you ever get tired? Is there ever a time where you just have to say, I'm sorry, Spirit, I gotta tune out for a few days?
Sure. What I do is I'm lucky and fortunate enough, thank you, Spirit World, to have a nice house in Encinitas, California. And it's obviously they made this happen because I'm a gardener. I create gardens.
Oh, yeah.
I have now a new business called Healing Gardens, and I work with people and create healing gardens for them. I love to ground myself in the garden, so I'm in the garden all day long, and that really helps me. And so when I'm on a tour or something, I come back, I'm just frazzled at the end, and I just come back into my place, my garden, and I'm great. And it's really funny because I don't like going out much. I stay behind the doors here,
Yeah.
and that's it. I just feel calm and relaxed, and do my school and I do interviews. But yeah, I'm fortunate, and I love visiting in the garden. That helps me.
Yeah, gardens and hiking, I think, are always nature.
nature, right? Nature.
Yes.
And it's great too. The beach is great. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But you are teaching a few courses. So I'll mention them, and then we'll have some callers ask questions about their own development to see where they may fit into one of these courses. But you have this Unlock Your Soul's Purpose. And that's incredible because this it's a video course. You help people predict their own future. So can you explain that course a little bit for the listeners?
Yeah, a little bit, so they'll understand it because I go through the whole steps of it. But, as I say many times, that we as a soul being, it's like 20% is in the body, 80% is out of the body.
Yeah.
So your higher self, the oversoul. So in this course, I work with them in tuning into their oversoul self, that part of themselves. And of course, there is no such thing as time. Time is only the linear world, 3-dimensional world. So if you can tune into what you desire, visualizations, wishing, seeing it happen, it's a little bit of that. It's a little bit of action, reaction, really what just bringing into your space that what you want and declaring that it's yours and that you're worthy of it.
And you have them do this manifestation map.
Yes, it's really cool because what does your soul like? What does your soul love? Where's your passion come from? To make a list of the passion and have this like map of where they want to explore about themselves and discover, and it opens up the whole space for them, and it really does help them to find their purpose.
Oh, good. Yeah, I can. And then that's the thing. It's kind of going that inwards a little bit, right?
Yeah, and it's not what you think it is. It's always something new. It's always something very different. And again, going back to what I said before, the more you try to be like another person, forget it, you can't be.
Yeah.
You got to be yourself. And people love that self-discovery, and that's part of the work. It's self-discovery. So your soul has all the answers. It's just letting yourself take the time to listen to your soul and really blending with that being, that part of yourself, and honoring it and doing it and just living it.
So you had a near-death experience, right? Yeah. You hit your head.
Yes, I did.
And then you saw the ribbon. Can you explain that? Like, what did that near-death experience feel like for you? And did it change your mediumship?
Oh yeah, it did. It happened on the year in 2004, 5, 6. I don't remember the year it was, but it was. I had to go to LA for a meeting, and I hadn't eaten lunch, so I went to this deli, and it was a Middle Eastern deli. So I just walked in, and we were in Iraq at the time, so I was like, I wanted to be nice to these people. So I got a lettuce thing, salad, whatever. Well, I didn't know the lettuce was bad; it was tainted.
Oh,
yeah. So that night, or the next morning, I was vomiting really badly from LA back down. I lived at the beach at the time, and every exit I had to go up and let go.
Oh.
So to make a long story short, it was all day long, and my husband Brian he was working at the time at the post office. So about 7 o'clock at night, he came home, and I've been really bad, blah, blah, blah. I go into the bathroom, and all of a sudden I black out. My head hits the vanity, blood is everywhere.
Ooh.
And I pop out of my body. I'm looking down, and I'm like, "What the heck?" And I'm like, "What is?" I'm like, "Oh no, don't tell." I knew it wasn't my time. I just knew that. I'm like, what am I doing here? And all of a sudden, I saw my cousin Patricia, who completed suicide about 20 years before, who taught me metaphysics when I was a kid, by the way. And I'd never seen her since she's passed, and for the first time. And she looked at me, and I said, "What's going on?" And she said, "It's going to be over. Don't worry." And I said, "Be over, or over?" Because you still have your sense of humor, right, your personality. And she left, and my father came to me, and he was 27 years old. He was holding up a rose, and he says, "Not your time. You got to go back." And that's when I saw the ribbons of everyone's head. Is a beautiful ribbon that feeds into the tapestry of us, all of us. And every thought has a color to it, and it falls into that tapestry. And at the end of our life, we got to look back and see the conditions we created with our thoughts. So I knew that. I also had this sensation that we're all one, that sense that we are one being. Two greatest illusions in the three-dimensional world. One is death. There is no such thing. And the other is the sense of being separate. When in reality, we're one. So I had that sense of that oneness. And then all of a sudden, I came back into my body, and I woke up, my head was really hurt. And Brian was looking over me, and he said, "James, wake up, wake up." And I opened up my mouth and my eyes, and I said, "Dying is easy, living is hard."
Oh, wow.
Right. And then I spent 2 weeks in a hospital, and I had lost a lot of blood. And it was a Mallory Weiss tear. My esophagus was ripped from doing that. So, yeah, it was really what. And then my mediumship, I was several. I do all these shows, and one of the promoters who knew me for years, she came up to me after and she said, "Your mediumship has changed. You're at a higher vibration." And then I paid attention to it, and she was right. And it was more guides came through, lesson teaching, totality, all these different things came through. It was very different quality mediumship. So yeah, it did change. It brought up a little bit, and I had to go through that when I was spiritually evolved.
Well, we're glad you're still here.
Thank you.
No, maybe not as happy as Brian is, right? But
Right.
No, it's but what a story to share, and what an experience to have, because it just adds that whole layer of like, now I had this, and I was teaching. You were already teaching. You were already doing it. And then to have, if anyone didn't need an NDE, it's you. Right. So, how about, we take a caller with a question about development. Okay. So how about number 8201, if you have a question about spiritual development. So number 8201, who is this? Hello?
Teresa?
Hi, Teresa. It's Colby and James.
Hi, Teresa.
Hi.
Hi, honey. Do you have a question about, the development or the gifts, things like that you want to ask?
I guess I'm just wondering how you get feelings and you question yourself whether you do have the gift or you don't have the gift, and at what point do you know about the things you're feeling?
Yeah, so the validation. At
Does
what
that make
point?
sense?
Yeah,
Yes,
at what
the
point
validation,
is there
yes.
validation that there's something more for you to pursue with your gifts?
Correct.
Right. So
Correct.
everybody, Teresa, every single person is intuitive. So intuition means into the soul. It's the language of our soul. And we're very intuitive as babies. We survived that way. And so we all have intuition. But when you go from your heart instead of your head, then you're in. Then the feeling is your heart. And your gut will always be right. But when you second guess it and use your head, then you'll be cut off and it'll be wrong, right? So the more you practice your intuition, every day the phone rings, who's on the phone, or you get a bill in the mail and you try to intuit how much it is, or a parking space in Los Angeles, we do that. So wherever you can use your intuition, it's like a muscle. The more you use it, the more it grows, expands. And that's who you are. You're a soul. So that's your natural language. So when you get you try and you attempt to do these things and use your intuition, you'll notice that sometimes it comes in very strong and other times it doesn't. And you'll notice, then you'll begin to see why it comes in strongly and why it doesn't. Most of the time it's in your head, that's why. But you'll notice a pattern, and that's how you can learn to use it and trust it. You start trusting and have confidence, then it opens up right away. I think you should, Teresa. I think you feel like you have it, but you've been a little bit lazy about using it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot going on, and then you get like a little bit nervous and question things, and then of course the people around you always make it difficult. But yes, I agree with that.
I have some fun stuff. In school, I have like fun
So I wish I would become more confident and just step out of my shell.
Yeah, well, Teresa, that's just like James is saying, something you can do. It's a muscle. Get out there and practice, and through that practice, you'll be able to build that confidence, okay?
And it's a great psychic portals in my school. That would be helpful for you.
Oh, yeah. So, all right. So I'll talk about that. But thank you so much, Teresa. I'm glad you got through with your question for James. So congrats to you.
Yes. Thank you. Always great speaking to you.
Oh, have a good
wonderful
night.
Evening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. So, right. There is the psychic portals class where you're helping them develop their psychic and mediumship gifts, helping them strengthen those clairs. And getting a clearer message, right? Through the
yeah, thank you, Tom. Yeah, it's really laying the foundation for the mediumship, and every medium is psychic, but not every psychic is a medium. Two very different things. So one has to be very much skilled in intuition, and the psychic portals opens people up on different levels, and I help them to grow and then be confident and trust what they feel, what they sense, what they see. And so everybody's different, and it's a great beginnings course, I guess you could say.
And so, do you have students who can you tell just by either looking at them or talking to them if they're clairvoyant or clairaudient? Okay.
I see their colors, so I'm able to see their auric field. I'm able to see these chalk points, and I'll see what's closed down, what's open.
Yeah.
A lot of throat chakra closed down, so I'll see them. And it's really amazing to go through a workshop, a 5-day workshop with them, because in the beginning, the first day they're all like closed down, fear, and the last day they're all open and flying in the air, and it's great. It's great to do that. That's why I teach. I teach because I say to people, you're talking to dead people. That's the hardest part of my job is I see people's potential, and they don't see it for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious. So the colors, the tapestry that you said you saw before, did you see colors before the NDE in people? Were you able to notice colors before that experience?
Yes, I did, but maybe not the values of color.
So it's kind of like polarized sunglasses.
Yeah, that's correct. And kind of expansive energy. If the NDE, I guess that's what to describe it, more expansive energy.
Okay.
More understanding, more of a connection with people.
Yeah. Oh, incredible. All right. How about another caller? Okay. All right. So let us do number 12, 208. What is your development question? Who is this?
Hello?
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 Hi.
Hi.
Who is
Oh
this?
my God. Okay, I'm not wasting any time. My name is Lacey, and I'm just whatever. I'm open.
Well, Lacey, the questions are about your spiritual development. So do you have questions about development or how to develop gifts, things like that for James?
We're not doing any readings.
Not particularly. So I'll get off the line and let you guys find somebody that does. I wasn't watching the live.
Okay. No, that's okay. That's okay, Lacey. You know what? I'll tell you what. Just the fact that you got through is probably a sign and inspiration for you to maybe visit James's website and kind of take a look to see what classes are there, because there's obviously a guide talking to you now.
Well, maybe it's just reaffirming. I can assure you I have zero abilities. I'm a psychic shit show. So maybe it's just a sign saying like there's something out there, but that's okay. I'll get off.
Okay. Well, sorry about that. Okay. Well, there you go. It happens. So, but that's so funny because people are always looking kind of for that information, that inspiration, but you're teaching them, hey, you can find it within yourself.
Oh, for sure. Everybody can be the best medium. They can be their own great medium because, they ask me, can you contact this person, my mother or my father? Well, you know them better than I do, so you'd be able to hear them better. And, the funny thing is, the only difference between the spirit world and us, their souls that discarnate, we're the incarnate, we're in the body. They're a soul that's out of the body. It's the only difference. So in the mind is the soul is the mind. If we open up our mind and we ask a question from, let's say, our mother, give me a thought about something, and just open up and surrender to that, and you'll start hearing it and feeling it. And again, everybody can do that. Of course, there's different levels of mediumship, but definitely the basic part, everyone could do that.
Okay. Now, we have a question. Someone wants to know, how do they recognize a sign from a loved one? So what do you say there?
That's great. This is why I cover this in school. So one of the things you could ask is, number one, if you want to be specific about a loved one. So let's say a father. I want my dad, can you give me a sign in the next day or 2 days? I want a sign from you. And you can make whatever you want, Dad, but I'm going to be open-minded. So you'll be walking around, and I'm telling you, within 48 hours, there'll be a specific, unique sign, and you'll know it's from the father, because the energy of the sign, it might be something the father loved or liked, or you feel the energy of that father figure. And it's not like you have to go and make it happen. It'll just appear. So just surrender to that experience, because the spirit world is always around us, and they know what we want, and they'll do everything to fulfill that. So we get signs in all different ways. Every day we have signs all around us. We just got to be open to them.
Do you see signs yourself?
I do. I see signs, and I see, really, Colby, I see license plates. I see billboards. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. But a really fun story, quickly.
Yes, please.
Right about one of my books. I was doing my TV show Beyond. It was when in the 90s there. And I remember the night before, I went to bed. I was not feeling great. And Brian and I might have had an argument just on this. Oh. And I went to fall, just about to fall asleep, and there's a being at the end of my bed, big, tall being. And I said, "Who are you?" And the person only said, "You would know me as Abraham Lincoln, but I'm now part of the New Order, and we want you to know that we're with you, and we're going to help to change the consciousness." I'm like, what? I'm very down there. Like, what? Abraham Lincoln? You would know me as that personality, but we're here to let you know we're going to help you to change things. We're working with you. Fine. I said, I need proof. I'm very skeptical. I need to proof. It's Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln? So the being said, you will have your proof. Remember, we told you. Fine. The next morning, I wake up to the fax machine going off, and it was my editor who sent me a chapter in my book, and it was a chapter of questions people have, and then answering it. I look over the questions and answers, and the question was, what is a premonition? And she answered it, and I looked at her answer. She wrote, a premonition is before sight, before something happens, you see it or know it. Just like the very famous Abraham Lincoln death scene that he was laid out in.
Yep.
I'm like freaked out. I'm like, what? So then that afternoon, I talked to my friend Peter on the phone. I said, how was your weekend? He goes, it's been kind of strange. I said, well, why? He said, some friends of mine bought me a painting. I said, well, that's very odd. They bought you a painting. What was the painting? He said it was called Abraham Lincoln Freeman Slate. That night, I'm paying some bills at my dining table, and my wallet falls off the table. I look down to pick it up, and it's a $5 bill.
Wow.
Every day since, I've had some sign from Lincoln, whether it's like I'm driving and there's Lincoln billboard or a car Lincoln, or someone mentions Lincoln in an interview every day, and that's been now about 10 years probably.
Wow.
Over 10 years. It was constant for the first like 7 years, and so that's really pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So I haven't forgotten that they're working for me.
Yeah, that's amazing, and what a great story. Now that kind of just leads to another question. You mentioned you had an argument the night before. Just as a medium, as a professional medium, we have lives, right? You got to live your life. You have relationships, struggles. What happens if you have to see a client or have to do a platform or something, and something like that happens before? How would you handle that?
Well, Colby, I think it comes a lot with life experience, being old, and and really what important. You have to get your the what's important in your life, priorities. You got to priorities, and priorities for me is spirit. It always has been. And, we are souls having an experience, not the other way around.
Yeah.
So we got to remember that. And if we live our lives from that perspective, that we're souls, first and foremost, and that we're all going to have these human dramas because this is our school, school for the soul, and the different lessons we have to learn with our loved ones, with our family and our friends. So how am I handling this, Life is a series of choices, and all choices are based upon either love or fear. That's all there is. So where are we looking at? What's resonating? Fear in this situation or love? So use that a lot. I go always back to love. If I'm working in a platform or one-on-one, I really go back to that soul. It's soul work. It's my soul work. It has nothing to do with the human. It's soul work. It's unconditional love. So I go into that headspace of looking at this person working with, or the audience, that they are God, that I'm working with their light, that we're all connected. So I get that mindset and mind shift, if you will. And it works. It's perfect. It's great.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's kind of you.
Later, come back to the human seventh.
Yeah, and then you'll sort it out.
You'll sort it out later on. Right? But life is so short that life is made up of moments. So I would say to you, got to make the most of the moments, because yesterday's already happened. Tomorrow's yet to be. So live in this moment right now and make great moments.
Yeah.
Be proud of the time you spent on the earth. Make sure the earth world's better off after you left it when you found it.
It's an incredible intention and way to look at it, right? That's fabulous. All right, looks like we have a caller with a question about development. So number 1, it's 208, and let's see who we have here. Who is this? This is Colby.
Colby, this is Leilani. And hi, James.
Hey, Leilani. We've got James on. Do you have a spiritual question for him, a development question?
I do. I have just come into my abilities. In fact, Colby, you were the one who triggered it by having a reading with you when you said, hey, you're one of us. I didn't realize it. I know. And so what I'd like to know is I have not been able to see spirit yet. I can hear them. They're talking to me very clearly, and claircognizance, clairaudience, but I don't see them. So is there something that I'm doing that's blocking it? Or is there something that I can do that would increase that ability to be able to see them?
Well, you might have a claircognizance that might be strong for you, and the clairvoyance not as strong, but that you could definitely, I think you can see. The different exercises, there are a lot of different exercises. I use a blindfold a lot when teaching.
Oh, yeah.
And have a student put a blindfold on and describe colors, or have someone stand in front of you and describe what they're like. I also ask the spirit to show me something of themselves. So what color hair do you have? And you have to ask that. Show me your color hair. What do you sense from it? What kind of clothes? What do your clothes look like? What does the face look like? What can you describe them? If you want to break through a spirit and you hear from them first, write down their name or whatever, and then start writing down what they look like, physical traits from them. Just write them all down, and that you're seeing. And ask them. You have to ask them, show me, show me, show me. And then, sweetheart, Leilani, you got to be patient. You got to be patient.
Yeah.
If you're overthinking it, you're getting in the way, right?
Yeah.
So and also you can do meditation too, to open up the third eye more. So you can the wonderful meditation I have on the school page that you bring energy and power up that third eye chakra, and you open it up. You open up the indigo colors, and you explore the different layers of the color and the sight. So you're opening up that, and you can picture a big like eyeball, like an eyelid opening up, and a bright light comes out. That works. It really does. So try different ways to open up that space.
Well,
But
there you go, Leilani. I hope that helps, honey.
that patience,
It
my
does.
love.
I can see my third eye, but I can't see them like in the room.
Oh, well, that may not, that's a physical thing. So they may be more mental. It may be more mental mediumship, or like James is saying, just kind of develop the clairvoyance with it. So you're going to have to practice and be patient.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure it wasn't something that I was doing that was blocking it or,
No.
No, honey. Just get out of your way. Don't think
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome,
Love you
honey.
both. Thank
Bye,
you for doing what you
Leilani.
do.
Thanks. Bye.
Appreciate
We have someone who typed in a question. She wants to know, why would her guides she's able to connect to her guides, and they'll tell her about other people, but they won't tell her about herself. So, do you have an answer for that one?
Sure. That might be her soul's lesson, one of the soul's lessons, that things are not shown right away, that she's got to go through certain things to maybe an understanding of herself, a relationship with her own soul, and that might be the lessons that she's got to learn. Very important spiritual lessons. So that might be it there.
Yeah. Okay, good. Now, you're going to do the Hay House Live coming up, right? You're going to be in Toronto?
I'm going to be in Toronto in May. That's correct. And I'll be with a lot of other spiritual new age authors and teachers. And yeah, it'll be wonderful. I love Toronto. I haven't been there for a while. So it's great. It's a great city. Have fun. Yeah, I'll be there in May. And
Yeah.
I'll be all over the country this year. And then I'll be in England in June.
Are you?
Yeah, I'll be with Tony Stockwell.
Oh,
and,
yes.
Yeah, and I'll be in London. I'm going to work in London for a couple of days.
Oh, that's nice. Now, Tony is great, isn't he? He's been on the show too. He's really.
Tony's known Tony a long time. And Tony and I have toured together, and he's a great guy. Wonderful Pisces man. Funny, as you know. Really quick sense of humor.
He is. Yeah. So now, in your own life, we know your garden, which is wonderful. What are the other things that you like to do, just kind of in a normal realm, so that people know that mediums have normal lives?
I'm sorry, that word normal. I people would be very surprised, but I have a legitimate Broadway voice. I was going to be an actor who sings, and I actually took some voice lessons. I have a pretty good, legit voice. I used to do auditions in New York, and I'm still involved kind of in that. I'm writing a musical right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I worked with Stephen Schwartz, who did Wicked and Godspell, and we did a show called Houdini. Basically, he did it, actually, and he asked my opinion, and anyway, I introduced him to mediumship, and he might be someone I'm going to do this musical with. We'll see, but I don't know, there's different ways of teaching. I love to express, obviously, I have 4 planets in Leo, express myself. So whether it's gardening or writing a book or teaching a class or doing a platform or one-on-one, it's just using that creative energy.
Yeah.
And really enjoy every moment of it. And it's that, as you know, creativity. You're so creative. It's that creative energy. Enjoy that creative energy. Don't lose that moment, because it might not come again. So, and again, what other people think of us, none of our business.
I love that you say that, because we do get too discouraged and bogged down by the thoughts and opinions of others.
Yeah, and when you pass over, you won't have their thoughts or opinions. You'll just be by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, what should I do with that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, no one can love you more than you can love yourself, because nobody knows you better than you yourself. Right?
I love it. It's so true. And there's so many things that you've done that are, listen, I think there's a lot of mediums who really owe you a lot.
I've heard that before. I agree. I'll take that. I agree. That was my soul plan, I guess. As like I said earlier, pioneer, opening up the door.
Yeah.
I took a lot of bullets. I took a lot of bullets. A lot of bullets.
Yeah.
That was my role. That was my plan, my divine plan.
And but it's so courageous at the same time. It's so you're so courageous.
Now. You're freaking me out. Yesterday, I'm in my bathroom combing in my hair. My friend Marilyn comes through. I've known she was in development circles with me and so forth. Went around the world, in Brazil, and different places. She came through me, and she only come a couple of times. And she said, "You're very courageous." You do this for a living, right?
Maybe it's my Marilyn is your Abraham, right?
There you go. There you go. Oh, that's a good story too, Colby. I was doing a reading for a lady. Forgive me, I don't remember her name. I should remember her name. It's terrible. She's very well known, a director's daughter. Anyway, she was roommates with Marilyn Monroe, and she was writing a book about Marilyn. This is back in the 90s, And I did a reading for her, one-on-one reading, and Marilyn didn't come through till the very end, and she's Norma Ray. She was just that's her name. And I said, all she is saying is, I wish they, meaning the public, would pay homage to themselves instead of to me.
Oh, wow, that just gave me chills.
Because that the personality of that, what the earth people make of these stars and celebrities, that's not real. That's not who they are. It's what they do with the work. It's what they do to help others, and it's really what. When you go to the other side, you have nothing but the good deeds you've done.
Yes.
But the missed opportunities. So, Lucille Ball came to me and she said, I chose to be healing through comedy. That was my soul. I'm not what those people think I am. I'm more than that. So really,
that's incredible. Now, you did the Ghost Whisperer, or you produced that, co-produced it, right?
I really created the Ghost Whisperer.
Wow.
Yeah, I did. I created the Ghost Whisperer, and I hired the writer. I hired the executive producers with me. And I couldn't get credit for the creating it because no one told me I had to write this pilot. So I really created that show. And it's like Brian, my husband, he created Jim Clancy, who was her husband, what he does, because CBS said, we need an occupation for the guy.
Wow. So
he said, why don't we make him a paramedic? Because he can help people before they pass, and she helps them after they pass. So CBS loved the idea of the paramedic. That's where that came from. And it was a good show. 5 seasons. Jennifer Love Hewitt was wonderful to work with. A Pisces lady, very sweet, a good cast. For 2 years, Aisha Tyler, or 1 year, Aisha Tyler, and the guy that played her husband, they wouldn't really talk to me.
Oh wow!
What's going on here? I didn't know. And later, I found out they thought I could read their mind.
Oh yeah.
No, I really don't go around reading people's minds.
I love it. Well, you seem to be connected to Pisces. I'm on the cusp of Pisces. Does that? Do I get it?
In Aries, aren't you in Aries?
I'm on the cusp. Pisces Aries, March 21st. So I'm.
Oh wow! So you have the Pisces overlay, which is great. I'm also a cusp baby.
Are you?
Yeah, Leo Virgo, August 23rd.
Okay. Yeah.
So Pisces is where you go psychic. Go you psychic for.
I love it. I love it. Now, we have another question. This is about platform. So for any of the listeners out there, when James is mentioning platform, that basically means when you're in front of an audience delivering a message. So this person has a question. I assumed it was.
The lights on while you're talking. Keep on talking.
Okay, yeah. So the question is, when this I thought it was a she. That's so funny. When this person is doing platform, they kind of feel a direction in an area and they're getting information, but how can they be more accurate about kind of honing in on the recipient?
Well, it's really practice. And each demonstration is very different than one before. So every demonstration is very, very different. There are some that are so easy that you'll get the direction right. And it's that row back there, the 2 people right there, yes. Or other days it'll be a struggle. It depends a lot on the audience.
Yeah.
The recipients, and depends upon the spirit people and also the medium. But I would say practice is really the best. Go with your feelings. You want to feel where you are, or let them use you. Always try it as a medium. One should always sharpen the tool all the time. So try something new each time you do platform. Try a different technique. Ask the spirit people, give me something weird. Like Tony Stockwell does this. Give me something really weird. And he wants to work through a hamster. Like what? And the next turn. So always try to do something new in your way you receive and the way that you connect with the recipient.
Okay, that's good. I hope that helps the listener there. So now, how about someone? How do you tell them to quiet that mind chatter? Because especially when someone is learning and developing, that mind chatter can go crazy.
It goes crazy. So in the school, I talk about running the energy. So bringing earth energy up, cosmic energy down to the heart, simultaneously sending it out. So you're clearing those chakra points and opening that up. That's the first thing. And then really what I do is, I explain to them, well, like meditation, people want to meditate, but they can't because of chatter, right? So what one can do is realize that it's okay. You're going to get weird stuff in your head. Like, okay, what am I going to eat? What am I going to eat tonight? Chicken or fish or vegetables? And that go back to the center yourself. The thing is, if you just be aware that you're going to have these thoughts and they're okay, don't put an emotional charge on them.
Oh, okay.
Just be mindful that they're going to be there and they'll pass. It's just like riding, like you're in a boat. You can have waves rock the boat, but don't give it any energy. You got to observe it and let it go, and just go back to breath. I use breath a lot to go back into the breath.
Yeah.
Back to center. That really helps. Breathing really helps. That's the key.
Yeah.
Use the breath, right? That really is good.
That's perfect. And with the school, you have students that they don't even know if they even have anything. I mean, like we all know everyone's got intuition, right? Like you were saying, but they're just even wanting to play with it. But you can really help someone from that beginner intuition level all the way through the advanced student as well.
And I have people that go in, they think they're psychic, but they resonate more with healing, it's like a healing course.
Okay.
And it's really giving them the freedom to discover for themselves really what is their abilities and honoring that. So not mediums, healers, therapists. So that's part of the school as well, is again, self-discovery, your soul discovery, and honoring that. So that's a big part of it. Soul evolution, soul expansion.
Yeah, so we kind of just mentioned a few of these courses that you're offering, but on the website, there are dozens and dozens, plus all the books and the resources that are available. So please, go to James's website because you will see the school. It's James Van Praagh School of Mystical Arts, right?
Yeah, and my website's vanpraagh.com.
So it's easy. I mean, all you have to do is just, really, even if you just Google, you're everywhere. It's like that. But I want to, honestly just take a moment and thank you. Thank you for being on the show, but really thank you for all the work that you've done and the inspiration and motivation that you've provided so many, not just aspiring psychics and mediums and healers, but people and the messages that you've given.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's very kind. And I take it. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you. And I do. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
Yes. And we are, again, we love you here at UBN. And wishing you all the best this year. And your calendar should be on your website, right? All the events and people, they can follow you. And you'll be in Toronto in May, so super exciting. And you're meeting with Mavis, so...
Facebook Live every morning. I do is called Soulful Morning.
Soulful Morning, yes.
On Facebook Live, I try to do that every morning. I try the best I can. I'm not a morning person, so sometimes it's really hard. But I try, and some people join my Facebook page. It's great. Yeah, and I'm around. So.
Yes, we definitely know that you are around, but you are greatly, greatly appreciated. So, thank you so much, and have a beautiful night.
Thank you.
Bye, James.
Sometimes I feel like a star, but only strictly where I'm famous. I'm in this for the longest haul, like we'll see where it takes us. I'm throwing back these double shots like whiskey here is weightless. Cause this career I chose was even riskier than Vegas, yo.